Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainous, Volume 2 from Yen Press. So this is an interesting one. It's funny as again, working with Yen Press and that they're providing review copies. Fairly new to it. Been doing it for what, about a month or so. Whatever, you've seen them with the increase of videos. So they ask me every month, what I'm interested in, and either I missed the first volume or it was before I started doing the stuff with them. Because I am 99% sure I did not read the first volume of this one. So it was kind of interesting going into the second volume not reading the first. So it's by Akihiro Tuka, translation by Lisa Kaufman, lettering by DK. So the story is about this person, Konoha Satu. She was writing this fantasy story, this dark world, called Dark History, and then she winds up getting killed, which seems to be a big thing in manga that I've been reading lately, and then winds up being reincarnated into her story, and it's a really interesting concept. I really like the concept. The execution itself, for me, was a little lacking, and I don't know if that's because I didn't read the first volume or it's the style of the story or the writing for me. But it seems that, there's a lot going on. I feel like I need a flow chart to keep track of anything. So that's the first thing. The next is that the story itself feels really choppy at times. It doesn't go quite enough detail. There's a lot of personal thoughts that kind of drive the narrative instead of letting the narrative kind of play out. There's a lot of interesting kind of things of hey, is this the story I wrote? Is this what I remember? I don't remember writing it this way. What's supposed to happen? That stuff I really like. Where things kind of break from that thought, I really like. But I also don't think there's enough played off of that. You have this person from the real world thrown into this fantasy world. And it's not till late into this manga that she breaks character and makes a comment about I think video games or something like that. Of course, everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" To me, that plays up some really interesting stuff, and the manga itself and the story could have gone to a really interesting location or directions because of that, and it doesn't. That's all stuff that I feel could be played up more in the manga. The whole trying to remember the story written and how things differ and all that, I think that could be played up a little bit more, or at least played up differently than how it's done. There's the makings, I think, of a really solid story. It's just not necessarily for me. It feels a bit too messy, if that makes sense. And what's interesting is the art, for me, reflects that. The art I would describe as messy. It's really detailed and at times beautiful, but there's other points I can't quite tell what's going on. That's really nice art. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find scenes, an example of where it's just kind of a little bit all over. But yeah, I'll be honest, I think I know what's going on in this one, but it's kind of hard to tell for me. I really am staring at this picture trying to figure out exactly what's going on. There's others where there's just way too much going on the page itself, and it's potentially really cool, but also at the same time just I shouldn't have to spend 5 minutes staring at a picture trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Or at a page or whatever, and I found myself doing that a decent amount. So it's kind of like the story. The art reflects the story in that there's at times, I'm trying to find a good example of that, but of course I'm not finding it right now. The story at times just feels a bit too packed. Yeah, there's this one where there's odd balloon placement or dialogue placement, and there's just one of those of what the hell is they're attempting to kind of get across with the images. So yeah, it's and this is kind of another one where the image potentially looks cool, but it's kind of hard for me to make out exactly what's going on. So I'll kind of stop ragging on the art about that. But I mean, I think you can kind of see the point I'm getting at is it's a muddle, just not clear story. I think there would be simple things that could have been done to make the narrative a lot clearer, maybe make the art a little bit clearer, and just make it flow a little bit better. Like as is, it's just there's a little bit too much that I need to have everything written out as to who is who, and like who's connected to who, and who likes who, and who works for who, and who has to get revenge against who, and it feels like it's trying to be Shakespearean drama that way, but it doesn't quite land it. So yeah, I'm sure there's people will love this. I can see what the audience, like I can get a feeling of what the audience is, but for me it's just not quite clicking. So yeah, I mean maybe it's because I didn't read the first volume, but the thing that I've noticed with manga is they do a really good job of catching you up and reminding you what the general plot is. So you might not know specifics, but you at least know the general plot, which is enough to get by. So yeah, for me this isn't quite. It's not quite for me, which is fine. It's cool. But it's for you. If it's for you, if that the concept of someone being reincarnated to the fantasy story that they wrote is your type of thing, this is out now in comic shops. You can go get it. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. Tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links, so we get a small percentage. By doing that, you help support our site. So thank you. And I want to thank Yen Press for hooking us up with this review copy. Appreciate that, and thank you for watching. Now, if you're into manga, if you're into comics in general, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading that manga, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.